That's not what I wanted to do.
I didn't think so. Lost Nadine.
Yeah, I'm trying to broadcast this. Okay, there we go.
Oh, okay. I see. It said creating live broadcast. No comment.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, so it did work. Okay.
Okay.
For now. Find Nadine. Find Nadine now.
Yep, there we are. Okay. I just need for Nadine to come back in.
Yeah, she's like, should I leave? I was like, no, and then we were gone. Yeah.
Maybe that's a turn to her to come back in.
You got my message, right? That your parents are home? Okay.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
So it's a Friday night, and like usual, nothing worked. Yeah, buddy.
Hey, at least we're consistent.
Yeah, well, my patience with bullshit is running thin.
You don't have any patience.
That's whatever.
True.
Okay.
Hey.
It worked. Second time.
I know, right? That's so funny. You were just saying, should I leave? And I'm like, no. And then we were gone.
72,000 people live in Linwood. The average income is very low there.
I was like, I guess everyone's gone. I was like, I guess I should probably leave. No one's here by myself.
And one of the hardest hit cities.
Yeah.
That's just me. Whenever I try to use stuff, nothing works. So.
This is working now, no?
Not on the computer, it's not. But doing it from my phone again.
Oh, Jesus.
People who live in the neighborhood, 1 in every 400 of them has died.
Yes. I've instructed the chef to make it.
And like I said, LA has been hit hard, but not every part of LA has been hit that hard.
Because for whatever reason, it's only my camera that doesn't work. You know.
Deep pocket of
Well, how often have I had problems with the camera?
the population has been infected.
Way too often.
Every part of LA is
A few?
worst.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, she was saying she's here.
Yeah.
Compared to the roughly 1 in every 400 people who died of COVID in that South LA neighborhood of Linwood. In Beverly Hills, it's not 1 in 100, it's 1 in 1,500 people who have died of COVID. Or in Brentwood, which is also 80% white, compared to the 1 in every 400 people who died in Linwood. In Brentwood, it's 1 in 3,000 people who have died of COVID. Just
Yeah, I got this guy right here. Look at him.
So this is the rule, not the exception. The splotches of purple on the map, the areas
Oh.
four communities of color made up of people who
He's
are getting
sleeping.
sick and dying.
He's sleeping.
Sleeping.
And obviously this is not
Yeah, he's sleeping.
He's out cold. Yeah, he's asleep.
Yeah, he's sleeping.
Just getting sick and dying.
He'll wake up, and then he'll run in the house like a crazy person. Then he'll go to sleep.
Since day one of the pandemic.
Why is he sleeping?
Because that's what cats do.
The thing we
Right?
have to be able to stop
Eat and sleep and play. That's it.
watch for it. We can
They sleep like, what, 30% of their lives or something like that?
More than that.
But I think it's 40. I think it's more than that. Like 50 or 60, I think it was.
we haven't been rolling out the vaccine for very long, right? But look at the disparities we've got already.
They sleep like 16 hours a day.
Just over a matter of
Oh, wow.
Pennsylvania.
Your guess is
They just,
right?
right?
1 hour is
I'm
what
with
we
them.
Pennsylvanians make up 3%.
It's actually quite a bit.
Getting up sometime. He's awake. No, is he
32%
awake?
of the population in Louisiana
No,
is
he's just moving, but he's not awake.
They make up only 13% of people who've been vaccinated.
He's cute though.
22% of the population is black.
But he has a mat. I saw him mat. I has a brush him. He has a mat right here to brush it down.
Yes, some vaccine hesitancy in
And
communities
then
and
he got a mat.
partly blame here, but beyond
Smaller
that,
mat.
there
That's
really
pushed out.
are very
It's
clear
only-
barriers to getting a vaccine
Huh?
that really do
What'd you say?
affect people of
He's a
color.
small
In order
mat. I
to
have to brush it out.
You need to register online. Well, to do that, you need to be able to afford access to the internet. Can't afford.
What do you got
Wi-Fi,
going on this
smartphone,
weekend?
Good luck getting the vaccine.
Huh?
What do you have going on this weekend?
Nothing till tomorrow, and then that's about it.
Yeah, same here.
Just to access a life-saving
And I
vaccine.
have an eye doctor appointment tomorrow and then working Sunday at the airport. But,
Oh, you get to work Sunday?
yeah.
Be careful driving.
That what?
Be careful driving.
No, I won't.
We only have this vaccine for a few weeks, but we are already making the
I
same
guess it's supposed to move in early Sunday morning, but it's going to be gone by Sunday night.
I have everything on Saturday night and Sunday morning.
That's what I meant, like overnight Saturday into Sunday.
Yeah.
But by the time kickoff for the Super Bowl gets here, it should be gone.
Everywhere. There are places
Yeah, well, because they get tickets like other first-line workers and stuff.
Yeah.
Located about 20 minutes down the road from Linwood, that pocket of LA I talked about earlier, one that's been hit so hard by COVID. Kedron serves that neighborhood, Linwood,
Oh,
as well
God.
as other poor, densely
Excuse me.
populated.
My sentiments exactly. I'm trying very hard to stay awake.
In normal times, Kedron is mainly a mental health clinic. It was
Wait.
founded in the 1960s after riots in LA.
Awake. I need to be awake. Well, you know how I am. If I'm at your place, you know that I'm going to sleep when I turn over and lay on my left side like I did.
Yeah.
Or
There's a movie I watched. It's called
Which did almost happen to the community served by
what's
Kedron.
it called?
This is Dr. Jerry Abraham. He's a family doctor and epidemiologist working at Kedron Health. He says,
Oh God, where is it? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember what it's called.
COVID vaccines. The health department just never called.
You
Kedron
sleep
never
in
called
spurts.
their deliveries of the
yeah, I
vaccine.
do. Kind of like a cat.
And gave them a
Pretty
Yep.
much.
clinic's vaccine allocation was. Turns out Kedron had just slipped through.
Could Luna Narrow or something like that?
Oregon had forgot to allocate vaccine for Kedron
It
What
was.
happened?
and made it right.
I saw a movie. I saw like a series. It was only 6 episodes.
Dr. Abraham
On Facebook. Not Facebook. Netflix.
But what he's doing with
It was
now,
called
that's the real story here, and that's potentially the
I think it was called Luna Narrow. I'm trying to find it, but it was really good. And it was really good.
Dr. Abraham is in charge of vaccine
Let me see if I can find it
He's
again.
doing it in a way that makes sure the vaccines are given out equitably, that vaccines in a predominantly black and brown community are going
Where is
predominantly
it?
to black and brown people. And to make sure that happens, Dr. Abraham has deliberately, consciously, carefully stripped away some of those barriers for entry.
Big ass one.
I can't find it. It was, it was called like it was called Luna Narrow, something like that. Good movie. Really good.
You don't have the internet, don't have a smartphone, it's okay.
Has to really glitches and stuff. It was really good though.
Gotcha.
Even if you can somehow get to a computer or a smartphone, but you're not that comfortable using it, you're not that great with technology, no problem. At Kedron, a volunteer will take the time to input your information online for you. They will sit with you and get it done. They will operate the machine if you are not
Trying to find it, but I'm not finding it.
You don't have a car. At Kedron, you do not need one. You can walk up and get the vaccine on your own 2 feet. What Dr. Abraham and his colleagues have designed here,
I know.
what his health center is doing is working. And it should be seen as a national model at a time we need one. And
Oh
God,
God.
what's going on in the background over there? That's exciting.
My house
Oh,
in Richland Meadow.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you took a snapshot of the people that live around
Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock every day. Monday through Friday.
demographics of the people who have been we need. That's the way it's supposed to work. It's really, really, really not how it's going in 50 states in the country.
I like Rachel Maddow. She's pretty cool.
Yeah, very
And that
intelligent,
Yeah.
which is nice for a change.
should be national news because everybody
Hate that.
I'm surprised Trump never bashed her.
He's-
Yo,
Yeah,
Oh, Mike's here.
what's
Hey,
up?
Mike.
not much. What's going on, man? How was dinner?
Oh, good. Good.
Excellent.
And why can't we do that everywhere?
What's going on in here? What powwow are we having in here?
I was just bullshitting about random stuff.
What,
The fact that like
like my right hand you were talking about earlier?
I'm right.
We talked about that.
About the relationship between Jess and your right hand. That's a full-time effort right
Juggle-
there, bro.
That's a
Juggling
whole,
the two.
that's a whole second job right there.
Yeah, it is.
Telling you, you know, right hand or the pussy, you know? Come on now.
That's awesome.
So,
How was dinner?
that was good. Snuggles,
Oh, yeah.
Snuggles still the same. You know, it's good food still.
That's always a plus.
The alcohol is still always good no matter where you go.
Where'd you guys go tonight?
I just told you when you're not paying attention.
I didn't hear
No,
what you
I
said.
was posting something.
Snuggles.
Oh,
Yep, snuggled.
they've got good stuff.
Never been there,
Me either.
so I wouldn't know.
It's not bad.
Huh?
They've got okay. It's okay for like a place to go.
It was crowded tonight. We had to wait like a half
It
hour.
was a
I'm not
Friday night.
surprised.
Usually Friday and Saturday nights is always busy at restaurants.
But it's,
But here's the thing: a lot of people are starting to go back
Yeah.
out again.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, they're done with this whole shit. You know, they're done with everything now. So now
I think everyone is.
With the vaccine coming out,
now
people
it's
are
just
like, oh,
overrated.
But hey, what's your thoughts on Did you see the Big Ten released their schedule today?
No.
They released it with no COVID contingency plans, and they're looking to play in front of full stadiums.
No.
You don't think it's gonna happen?
Yeah, that's what Lisa and I said the same thing.
No.
I'm thinking it's a big mistake.
Any sport in general, or any kind of gathering, restaurant, you know, venue or whatever, you cannot have a full. You can't have 100% capacity.
Yeah, they'll close it down before that happens.
That's just gonna open up a whole new can of worms that we're already dealing with.
How far away do you guys think we are from full capacity events?
Maybe
year, 2
maybe
years.
by the end of this year. Maybe.
No, I don't think. No, I think we have at least a year, at least.
I think it's going to be longer. Until we get the majority of the people vaccinated, okay, so that the herd immunity can start kicking in, then we can
And
do
let
the,
them get vaccinated too. That's not
right.
because my sister-in-law, she will not get vaccinated. She will not let her kid get vaccinated. She's like, no vaccine whatsoever. She's like, no, I'm not the vaccine. She will not. She reads about them intently, and it's like, my kid's not getting vaccinated. I'm not getting vaccinated. Like, I mean, her sister's the same way. If she's like, I'm not getting vaccinated, my kid, it's like, I mean, my brother is getting vaccinated, but his wife won't, and she will let her kids get vaccinated along with her sister and her sister's kids. They're not get vaccinated because these vaccinations, like, no, they're so bad for you, so they won't get vaccinated. And a lot of people like that. They won't get vaccinated. They don't want to.
That the anti-vaxxers. I'd like to just like take them all and put them in a room and let loose some sort of virus after them, you know.
Yeah,
That's mean of me, but hey.
Children are die with the vaccine. She still wouldn't get it. She still wouldn't get it. If what if you're gonna die with the vaccine? It's like, no, he wouldn't get it. I was like, what if he would die without it? It's like, no, he's not gonna get it because the vaccine will probably kill him, not the virus. I was like, okay, you think that, but whatever. I mean, yeah, that's her. You know, it's her kids, whatever she wants to do for life and her kids, that's her business, not mine.
So
The issue with most vaccines, or most people who don't believe in vaccines, is they actually think they're being vaccinated with live virus, etc. And it's not necessarily live virus. Most of the time, it's a dead virus, right?
Right.
You know, you talk about the flu and everything else. The COVID virus, the way it was explained to me, is that it takes, and I can't remember exactly, it like takes little bits and pieces of the virus and puts it in the it together with the vaccine. Pardon? Yeah, some of the antibodies, I guess it is.
The antibodies.
Yeah. But and don't forget the chip that Bill Gates is putting in it.
Yeah, right.
yeah, I know, right? The microchip.
Yeah, idiot.
So, are you guys concerned that maybe, we're vaccinating to the point where our immune systems more or less are like, because it seems like we're totally eliminating virus, period, altogether.
Well,
I mean, literally eliminating everything. Do you guys
hold on, though.
see that as a problem?
No, I do not see that as a problem. We eradicated, for the most part, polio, smallpox, measles, mumps, and rubella.
Those
right?
actually come back.
Right, they're coming back because people are not getting the boosters. And also, people also saying, well, it hasn't been around, so I'm not going to bother. So when it actually does, somebody travels somewhere and brings it back with them from someplace that they don't do vaccinations, or those diseases are coming back, that's how it comes back.
I mean, but like, we get those vaccinations like when we're like babies for like smallpox, measles, mumps, and all that stuff. I mean, we get those when they're babies. Like, that's when we get those vaccines.
Right.
When we're babies.
Right. But as adults, we really need to look at booster shots.
Oh, really?
I asked my doctor that already. He said I would go with that. You know?
I don't think I ever got boosters.
Right? Because I know, according to my health records, when I was in high school, I got my last booster when I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 60 now. I think it's time for another booster.
Maybe I should get boosters before I go on vacation.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when my neighbor went to Mexico with a class trip in high school, I guess it was. I mean, they had to go and get cholera shots. Cholera.
My friend said that she did that when we went to India. She said that before she would go. Yeah. She told me that she did that.
Yep. There's.
I never actually.
Back
What's
in the
that?
day.
What, Mike?
Cholera?
Yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah, cholera is an old. Let me look that up real quick for you so I can explain that. Cholera, I believe, is a waterborne thing.
Okay.
Bacterial disease it's a bacterial disease usually spread through contaminated water, causes severe diarrhea and dehydration. Hello, Montezuma's revenge. Left untreated can be fatal within hours, even in previously healthy people.
Yeah.
Modern sewage and water treatment have virtually eliminated
Ollie, up
cholera. So
get up.
when they went to Mexico, apparently back in, oh my gosh, when was that?
Ooh. He wants to see me. Hang on 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
It's Layla.
Big fit.
I'm hiding. Hang on.
You're hiding.
Hiding.
What the hell happened to my freaking joining here?
All I see is glare.
I hate my phone today, people. Everything's not working out.
Boy, you
Hang
sound
on.
just like
I
Mindy
I
over
use
here.
sunglasses now. I just been blinded.
gotta put this shit that's not working.
Anyway,
What good they're going to do me because they're in my fucking work bag out in the car.
If I could bring you guys back up on the screen, it would actually help, but I'm not holding out hope for this stupid phone or anything today for that matter. What's everybody up to anyway?
We're just chit-chatting.
They look like milk bones down there. I don't want them.
Hang on.
everybody's having some form of technical difficulties today.
I was good all day.
Yeah, how come shit never breaks for you? You're like the least technical person I could
That's
think
why. That's why.
of. True. I'll give you that one. It's this one.
Oh my god. I'm about to throw this thing.
Oh,
Hang on
wow.
1 second.
That sounds familiar, Mike.
Jesus help me.
Jeez.
Somebody better. Now I think she froze.
No, she's still
Yeah.
there.
Nah.
Possibly.
No, she's
No, she's loading. It's loading.
Yeah, my end it's spinning.
Yeah, mine is too.
yeah,
Mine's
maybe she
spinning.
did.
My head's spinning. Oh, no.
That's
no,
not-
nothing.
Nothing new. Yep, she's gone.
She'll be
Yeah, I
back.
was just gonna
She's having technical.
say.
Oh, who was that?
That's Layla. I haven't met her in person yet. That's another person I haven't met in here in person yet, but I've talked to her a few times in the messenger room now.
Oh, cool.
Do I know you? Have we met yet?
Yes, have we met yet?
We need to see your ID at the door.
Yeah, right. Let me get this.
Something about a cat getting a tattoo. I don't know.
A cat getting a tattoo?
Oh?
I don't know. No, let me see that a second.
Yeah, okay, you can see my kitty cat now. He's awake.
He's awake?
Yep, he's awake.
That's the first time they ever kicked out that animal.
Yes.
Oh, he looks so thrilled. Nadine, he just looks so thrilled.
He's like his mom. He is, I think,
Yeah.
his mom.
Yeah, somebody tattooed a hairless cat.
Oh, the hairless cat.
What?
I mean,
Yeah, see, look. You might not be able to see it, maybe, but yeah.
Oh, what the hell?
that is horrible. That's horrible.
Oh, absolutely. That's like animal abuse.
Yeah, just slightly.
Nobody has
Tattoo
God.
Yeah,
That's animal abuse. That's
Jessica,
horrible.
Jessica was looking it up.
Hey, Layla, we're talking about how tattooing a hairless cat is animal abuse.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay, everybody.
Right.
They keep sounding on TikTok and Instagram in 2017. And now
Dude, Oliver looks absolutely thrilled.
He does, doesn't he?
Just like,
Actually, it looks like he's trying to go back to sleep.
yeah, true.
You know what? He's really, really fat. See? He has like
Aw, what a cutie.
How old is he?
yeah.
How old is he now?
Like 6 or 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but
Hey, kitty.
he's really fat, and he has like labor breathing a lot of times because he's really fat. See, belly.
Yeah.
He's really fat. So he has labor breathing sometimes. I get scared. He has labor breathing sometimes.
He has more fat rolls than a sumo wrestler.
God, I mean, I love him so much. That's why he's super sad. God loves him so much.
I want to shake your hand.
Hello.
Nobody loves me. That's my excuse.
She has no. What is that? A she or he?
Hey.
She or he?
Oh, it's he. His name's Oliver. Oliver Queen.
Oliver. Okay.
Like the Green Arrow. Oliver Queen, like the Green Arrow. Oliver
Oh,
Queen.
yeah.
Oliver Queen. Yep.
He has no interest in being on camera.
My mom named him Oliver. I got Queen. So that's what Oliver's his name. So I got Queen so he'd be tough like the Green Arrow. Right, Ollie?
He said, "Oh my God, what did I do to deserve this?"
That's better than what my friend Emma calls her cat. His name is Harry or something like that, but she calls him the demon fur face.
Did he respond to that?
I haven't a clue. That's my friend Emma in England, who I haven't talked to in months.
Oh, this guy.
There's a cat.
Oh!
Also
It's not
known as
Doggy!
Bitsy.
It's Doggy!
You don't even look at it. You don't even look at it.
She's trying to.
What is the puppy's name?
This is Athena, also known as Bitsy. Yep.
Oh my God, my cousin Doug is named that. They're the white German Shepherd girl. They're named Athena.
She's the leader of the pack here, of which are 3 others. And her nickname is Bitch Thena because she's a great little dog with people, but when she gets on her load with the other dogs, watch out.
His name is Satan. No, the name for him is Satan.
That's awesome.
Right, you do satanic mode sometimes? Yeah, you go into satanic mode sometimes.
Mike, is Jessica on?
Huh?
Huh?
Is Jessica on?
Jessica's
No.
over here playing with her phone.
I was playing her phone.
What was that?
Come say hi.
Yeah, hang on a second. Why the hell?
Say hi.
Here we go again with this annoying phone. Hang on, people.
Yeah, come here.
Hang on.
Layla wants to come see you.
No, wait a minute. Tell her, hang on a minute. My phone's acting up again. Oh my God, I'm so angry. Hang on. Because I need to practice. Hang
You
on.
can either go on your phone or.
Hang on.
Jessica's gonna join.
I'm about to
Layla,
get.
Jessica's gonna join.
All right, hang on. Let me get the hell out of this again and join back.
Go into the event. Go into the event.
All right, hang on.
You want to just sit here?
Take your time
Do you want to just sit here?
there, Layla.
Sit over there. You want to sit? Yeah, just sit here. Because you're not going to understand what you're saying anyway.
That's comforting.
Yeah, right?
I'll take it.
What happened there? Did I miss something?
No, Layla's phone's acting up again.
Oh. She must live in the boonies or something. I don't know.
Did you fist bump? No, you want to fist bump?
Yep,
No,
she's
she left.
gone again, and she'll be back.
She officially left again. Elvis has left the building. Again. Well, Jessica's here if you want to say
Hi, Jessica.
Yo!
She's the one that showed up the cat picture.
She's the what?
Showed up the tattoo cat.
Animal abuse.
Animal abuse, yeah.
Yep.
Why would you tattoo a cat? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Ooh, Susie.
I'm trying to figure out
What?
the logic in that.
There is no logic.
There is no logic.
Logic does not exist.
Oh, do you want a tattoo? You don't want a tattoo, do you? No. We would never tattoo you. Let the animal loose.
Oliver saying, I will gouge your eyes out.
He would.
Cat's name is-
Look at him. He's just like, so he's just chillaxing there.
There's meetings days. There's meetings days. Right?
She actually gets him to sit down for Snapchat
I saw.
pictures.
What do you think?
7.
11?
7.
11?
I said, my
Brilliant.
won't do them, so he can do them with. I won't do them with me. So he said.
But
Yeah,
you,
you gotta get him to come out next time I come over.
Say what?
You gotta get him to come out next time I come over.
all right, Layla's back.
Looking for my little
May the force be with
paper spelling card from like when I was 23 years old, and that's what I use. Who knows? I'm not touching a thing on my phone now. I'm gonna.
Will it stay? Tune in
Your stomach bug?
next week to find out.
That's pretty much.
It seems that when it gets minimized, I can't get it back up again. I dropped the phone in water. It's supposed to be waterproof. Maybe not.
Oh.
Shut up, Coco.
Now you gotta throw that in a bag of rice. That actually works. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, takes
I've
the.
had to do that to a few times myself.
That's why I never take my phone to the toilet.
Oh. You know the story of my little Nokia bar phone.
No.
The one I dropped, that one that flew out of my purse into the toilet when I was changing to go to the gym the one night.
Oh,
Oh, yes,
I-
I remember that now.
Thankfully, it was clean, and I fished it out quickly, took the battery out and shook it out and let it dry. I literally let it dry for 24 hours. That phone still works to this day.
Nice. Yo, Nokia phones, they
I
don't
know.
die. I think I used to have my first phone when I worked at T-Mobile, the old Samsung V205.
I wanted that phone in the worst way.
I got that as the free phone that they gave out.
No, I got my Samsung X105, which I absolutely love that phone, that little bar phone.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. The Nokia was my replacement phone after my Nokia flip phone was split in half by the sperm donor.
Yeah.
I remember. Damn. Okay.
Layla,
Was that
hold
during
your
his
phone.
donation, or
What's that?
was that during his donation that split?
No. I just
Yeah, I
refer to him as that because I can't stand to even speak his name anymore.
I call mine asshole.
No.
God, that makes me think of my first phone. It was a Nokia too. It was blue. I was all happy. It matched the color of my flight
It's 3390.
7 years old.
Layla, did you have the face plates that you could change out?
That I could what?
That you could swap out the colors, different
Colors.
colors?
No, this was a solid navy blue. And oh God, we thought we were it, and I would take it during working on flights. And looking back, I don't know why I took it because hardly anybody else had cell phone service except my one cousin back home. So it's not going to insult anybody, but I felt I had to show. Oh, hey, look, everybody, matches my uniform. You know how it is when you're that age.
I didn't have the cell phone first. I had the beeper first.
Oh yeah.
I never had a cell phone. I never had a beeper.
Yeah, we
Well,
signed
I
up.
remember the beeper, right?
Did you guys did you ever watch the movie don't be a menace while drinking your juicy.
Yes.
Love it.
You remember the part with the beeper
Yes.
where they're like standing next to each other, like, oh yeah, hang on a second, man. Oh, I was dying. I'm like, that is so true. Like, people be in the next room, and you'd be like, oh, hang on a second, let me page so and so. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
like right there, you know. But
I'd like to call people's beepers and put obscene words in, like you've got to flip it upside down.
I've seen your personality online with some of your comments, Mike, and that doesn't surprise me. Let me tell you.
Oh, wait till you get to know him better.
People probably were hiding and so when they, you know, hide your beeper around your pants when he's messaging.
And you know what? I would call, like, if I was working at Renders, I would call the person's beeper right next to me and put in like boobs or something.
I guess I said hi. Thanks for she doing that too.
I'm trying to think what else I used. Let's see. Hi. Oh my God.
Hello.
Hello was one. Hell was my favorite.
911. Everything was 911.
Yeah.
What happened? Oh my God, I'm not gonna make it to the club on time. I had to blow dry my hair twice. Oh my God, thank God you told me. You know.
It's like, what's going on? Oh, I wanted to make sure you were still coming over. Seriously? You want me for that? Hey, Mueller, that's what Leslie and them in Birdsboro used to do to me. They would 911 me about that shit.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, and it would always be like 11:50. It would always be like 11:55 when I'm closing up the store. And the funny thing was, like, why didn't you just call me here? I have a telephone that goes ring.
You were
Hello?
literally right down the road anyway from the store.
Yeah, exactly.
Me.
Because you had to use the pager, you know. You had to
That's why I made you. That's why I made you go for the local shit. I'm not. I wasn't driving from Reading to come all the way down there unless it was something major.
This is the guy, Layla. So check out what this douchebag did to me the one day.
Oh God.
It's
Hey.
snowing.
Wait. This is part of the 21-year history. You got to listen to this.
Yep. It's snowing the one day. So, did you page me or call me at like 4 o'clock in the morning?
I think I paged her. No, I don't know. I don't know if you would have got the page. Maybe I did call you. I don't know.
I think you did like one or two of each. Like, I can't get out. I'm snowed in. Can you open the store? All right, no problem. Get out, get everything set up or what forth. 8 o'clock, I call him back. Like, so what time you gonna be in? Oh, maybe later on. I fell back to sleep.
Did I ever show up? I don't think I showed up that day, did I?
Nope, you didn't.
Oh my God. Do you guys remember the old emergency breakthroughs? You remember those when you'd be on the phone and it was busy? You were calling.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my
They were published
God.
in the back of the phone book.
It got so ridiculous. Like, I remember I was on the phone and one of my friends, I was talking to one of my friends, and somebody, I have an emergency breakthrough from your baby's mom and whatever. I have an emergency breakthrough. I mean, it was just got so crazy. People started like inventing. I have an emergency breakthrough from your wife, and I'm like, well, you're 15, so you know.
Yeah.
You know,
Those used to crack me the hell up too. We used to piss off the operator. One time, like, the operator would call you back, like, every now and then, be like, cut the hell, you kids better cut it out. Like, I'm like, oh shit, the operator called us back.
so when I was working at Redner's, hey, Mueller, do you remember Tracy Spencer?
It sounds familiar. I can't place the face though.
She worked in New Berlinville overnight.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So she worked at Redner's overnight, the one night. And I left at 11:30, 12 o'clock, and there were a bunch of us getting together, and, we're just hanging out watching movies and drinking and shit like that. Well, these idiots get the great idea to prank her at the store. So, all right, whatever. 30 minutes later, where we're hanging out with Jen and Grant and all them, fucking cops show up at the door.
Oh my God.
Fucking nailed all of us except for Grant with underage drinking.
You shitting me.
I had a disorderly conduct. I had to pay $100.
Oh,
This is back in
Get
96. Is it 96 or 97?
And
No,
Where was that? Where were
it
you
was
guys when that
98.
happened?
Huh?
Where was that when that happened?
Boyertown.
Is that PA?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, man. I was gonna say, my parents were very, very, very strict, all world. I went to a Catholic school my whole life, all that.
Poor
were in a
thing,
Catholic
you.
school, and my friends and I decided to prank somebody. Prank calls started getting crazy too. But we sent, unbeknownst to us, everybody decided to prank the same poor kid in the class that day. That was all a friend of ours. So me and my one friend sent one pizza to her. Two other people sent another pizza to her. At the end of the night, her mom's freaking out, calling everybody's parents. She got about like 6 or 7 pies delivered to her house, and they're asking her to pay for it. I remember, I thought my parents were gonna kill me. Oh my God, they went off. What's this Catholic school education, Layla? Where'd you go? I'm just like, holy shit. They only knew the other stuff I was doing, but yeah, we all got in trouble for that. And after a while, the pizza place would get done. But in Elizabeth, trust me, there was a lot more for the cops to worry about than us prank calling people. But it just got so ridiculous. Just stupid stuff too.
I knew a group who lived on the other side of Birdsboro, down on the other side of the railroad tracks. I think it was Vinny's that had the half-hour guarantee or something when they delivered.
Yeah.
But they always timed it with when the train came
Yeah.
through every day. It was like clockwork. So that like half hour or free thing or whatever, after a while they caught on to it and stopped delivering to them. It was like every other day they were.
Oh, that's a good
Right.
one, man. That's a good idea. I'll tell you, I'm glad we grew up in different times, because nowadays you can't do anything.
Exactly.
You cannot do a damn thing. I had kids that I had, supervising, that basically were on probation. They broke into the community pool, and they took there was an ice cream machine and a vending machine, and they pushed it over. So
Oh, wow.
They stole ice cream, couple bars, and it's a fairly very affluent area where the cops have nothing better to do, basically.
Right.
And my son being an officer, I'm being honest and telling you, none of us had anything better to do. So I get this, report on this poor kid, and they have pictures, and it resulted in like the cops in the town chasing these kids out of this community center. It went into the next town over. Those cops from that small town were chasing these kids, and then finally state police got involved in it.
Oh,
I look at this cop, and I look at the cop, and I'm like, are you fucking shitting me right now? They're sending me these pictures. They're like, and the evidence is like a half-eaten ice cream cone, like a half-eaten wrapper of like chocolate. Are you seriously shitting me right now? And I'm like, damn. Me and my friend jumped into a pool at 2:30 in the morning at this condo association, and we did it. We took 2 bar stools from our house, walked, and by the way, we were like, I was 29, so it just goes to show you. I'm like, wow, I was 29. We took 2 bar stools from our house, walked over to this pool, jumped over the fence on the bar stools, whatever, got in. We're swimming, everything's closed. The only reason why we ran the hell out of there was because a bear jumped into the pool on the other side.
Oh, my God.
oh
I was
shit.
like, I think it's time for us to get out of Dodge. And she's like, holy shit, look at the size of it. It's like a 300, 400-pound bear. It was a juvenile bear. So we were like, and we got the hell out. But I'm like, can you imagine? You know, you get like, you would have thought this kid murdered somebody. I go, you actually sat there and took a freaking picture of a half-eaten candy bar? I'm like, man, you were pathetic. You know, well, Layla, you know, they did wreck the. I was just like, I'm done. I'm cutting this kid loose. This is ridiculous.
It's actually kind of ballsy if you think about it.
Huh?
It's actually kind of ballsy what they did. Hey, why would you take pictures of it?
No, that was the
It's no,
police
the
taking
police
pictures,
did-
Mike.
The police were taking pictures.
They were getting evidence.
Yeah, they actually took the time and said the evidence number, you know, oh, Layla, here's the evidence. You know, they're giving me like these shots of like half-eaten candy bars. And I was just like, you actually expect me to waste my time on this? I'm like, done,
Yeah.
see ya. It was like a report. You would have thought they murdered somebody, seriously.
That sounds
I'm
like
what is-
Arlo Guthrie's oh man, Alice's Restaurant.
Yeah.
The 28 color 27 8x10 color glossies with arrows and circles and paragraphs on the back, kind of a deal for evidence. And they took pictures of the northwest exit and the northeast entrance, and yeah, for littering.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That's the whole gist of the story. If you listen to the song, it's pretty funny. And actually, what it's based on a true story where Arlo and his friend got arrested for littering when they went to visit their friend Alice up in Massachusetts.
That's awesome.
Yeah, some of stuff is it's a bit much.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mo, what kind of trouble did you used to get into growing up?
I was an angel.
Oh, wow.
I've never gotten in trouble.
Wow. And I'm the Pope.
You don't believe that?
Not for 1 second.
I just stay quiet. If he's
Are you
talking
sure
about
you
all
don't
these
believe that?
individuals have been friends for a long time, I'm not believing.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah. The Mikes have been friends for 20-something years, 20 years or so.
I was the perfect
That's
angel,
awesome.
from being an only child, I was like I was like on my best behavior.
Actually, you never really did tell anything of what you may or may not have done.
Oh, if you're talking about the worst thing I could have probably done was maybe go tech school.
Something outside of the midnight moonlight with your left hands on Saturday night.
Look, my hands are right here. Don't talk about my right and left hand.
I'm talking about back then.
Oh, well, back then, that's a different story.
I know your stories from back then, but I think I already told you about them, dude.
Mama, what you crying for, treasure? You ate already, Mama. Mama greedy.
You know what she said.
That's my other uncle, you guys here. Mama.
They want TV time. That's why they're crying.
Hi, Mama.
Hey, Nadine, what kind of trouble did you used to get into?
Why do you want to eat so much, treasure? You want to say hi, Mama?
Dog.
Get me out.
What's up?
Who are these people?
Yeah, she's like, give me food. I don't really care.
It is a new life form.
Oh, there you go, Mama. All right, I'll feed you.
How many dogs you have?
I have 4. They're all special needs. My nonprofit, Treasures Hope, focuses on helping special needs bully breeds So your bulldogs, your pits, your boxers, your Shar-Peis, a lot of different dogs that fall into the so-called bully category. Your mastiffs, your and double merles, which any dog that has the merle gene. So like you see an Australian Shepherd, they have like the ticking, the blue and white, or the red and white. When you mate two dogs with that gene, a quarter of the litter is either going to be deaf, blind, or both. So, yeah, we're both. So my other dog, which you haven't seen yet, he's huge. I'm not carrying him. Although I have, and I've carried bigger than him, but he is deaf and blind. So he's my smartest dog actually too. When I first got him as a puppy, he had a lot more vision. So we taught him with obedience signals and some sign language. And then when he started losing his sight, we transitioned to touch signals. So in other words, I'll touch him on the right side twice. He knows that means sit. I touch him once on the left shoulder. He knows that means heel. I tap him on the head. He knows that means good. So he has, and I've trained, Treasure's Hope helps find placement for a lot of deaf pit bulls. I go to shelters and teach them like basic signs, so I don't know, I don't adopt dogs that don't have medical issues because a lot of people will not adopt them. My dogs cost me like $20,000 to $25,000 a year every year in vet bills, and that's okay. It is what it is, and I'm happy to pay for it. I'll pay $100,000 if it needs to be. So we do that with Treasure's Hope. We fund rescues that pull special needs dogs. We work with Deaf Dogs Rock, which is a rescue that focuses on helping deaf dogs. We've placed deaf dogs in schools for the deaf. Like there's one in Trenton. We have deaf fosters that work with the deaf dogs to teach them sign language. We donate to shelters, beds, toys. People that have fallen on tough times during COVID that can't afford to feed their pets, we'll take them to the vet because it's expensive as hell. We will fund a vet visit for them. We'll hook them up with food. If they need basic care, shots, anything like that, we'll assist.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I know, Mike. It's Mike. Holy shit! When do you sleep? I don't. Yeah.
Sleep for when you're dead.
Sleep is overrated.
It is. So that's my affinity for American Sign Language. I really should learn it officially, but I don't know why. One day I read a story somewhere about a deaf Dalmatian and how easy they were to train and how much closer the bond was, and I developed this obsession, and I was like, I want a deaf dog. And then it led me to other people that had deaf dogs, which a lot of them themselves were deaf, and they're like, we can understand that we speak a different language. And I need to brush up on my skills, though. I'm terrible. I'm still with the fingers falling. I'm like, how are you? I'm okay. But I need to practice. I'm slow.
Hey, practice
And
makes perfect.
yeah, I need to learn a lot more. That's why I was so happy when you told me you were going out with Jessica. I'm like, wow, that's great. Like, trust me, it's just,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's just like, it's so funny because once you get like into a mode of like thinking, like for my one dog, it's gotten to the point where I forget that he's deaf, honestly, and when I forget it. So all the dogs now know signs as well, and sometimes I'll be here and I'll be like, wait, and I'm like, oh, and when I go to see other dogs that are hearing, I'm like, and my friends are, oh, Layla, he hears, oh yeah, sorry. I'm like, I forget,
Yeah.
And really, you know, I was like all for it. When you were like, oh, I'm worried, I'm like, there's none to be worried about. Trust me, you guys will communicate just fine. Listen, if you learn American Sign Language, you can come over to New Jersey and charge $175 an hour to do a translation for court for the New Jersey judiciary. It's the most in-demand language, and you get paid like $200 an hour. How about that? So it's
Laura,
great.
This sounds like the conversation I had with you last week with the whole
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah.
It's awesome, I'm telling you.
No,
I saw.
I told him, I went
I
to school with Jessica, and I told him, you know, I totally forgot about the fact that, you know, she was hearing impaired and everything, and I felt horrible that, you know, I don't know the sign language or anything like that.
no. Every once in a while, you know, it slips my mind because I'm around somebody, you know, I'm around people that I can actually, you know, that hear me. So every once in a while, I turn to her and I start talking to her, and I say, shit. It slips my mind that she's, you know, not thinking that, you know, she's deaf, and I say, oh shit, no wonder. But you know, it is a slow go for me. I'm picking up some things, you know, as far as sign language. But like you, Layla, I got a long way to go. But I got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just like anything else, you know, the more you're around it,
Well,
the more it becomes second nature
yeah,
after a while.
I guess
It's like you forgetting that you're around hearing dogs.
yeah, honestly, it's become the opposite for me, and I live alone. So, you know, I've gotten to the point where pretty much I probably talk to my dogs more than anybody else. No, they haven't started talking back yet, people.
I was going to say, when the dogs start responding to you, you're going to be, wait, are they reading my lips?
Well, the one thing that they always respond that I know is food, water, outside.
Yep.
If they start responding after that, you might see me on a newspaper somewhere, but not to tell you to do something crazy,
Yeah.
but you know, it's like anything else. You become like, it becomes second nature to you. And honestly, today, with all the technology that there is, you know, there's a lot more, the visual medium, like us right now.
Yep.
We're all seeing each other. So, you know, things have changed. It's not like, you know, 50 years ago where you had to call somebody and you needed a TDD device. And if you didn't have one, listen, you go text somebody now. You can freaking, you know, listen, pick up FaceTime or do it on Google and you're set to go.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Well,
You got
I
people
used to-
seeing you don't want them to
Right.
see you, if you know what I mean.
Right. Now, I used to work at T-Mobile. I did tech support, and a lot of times we would get the hearing impaired operators on the line. Okay. Some of them were doing video calls, which was awesome because those were quick. Because we would just talk to the interpreter, and they would, you know, sign, and they would be doing video like we're doing now. The others were doing the teletype, so those calls were a lot longer. So yeah, it's really kind of neat.
Yeah. We do that in
Uh-huh.
court now. You know, we're having all our court hearings through Zoom, and we just have an interpreter set up. You know, she's on video, and whoever she's interpreting for is,
Yep.
and boom, 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 and she's doing it simultaneous. So there's not even like any kind of delay or anything. So
Has your Zoom
you
has your Zoom account ever been hacked during a case?
no,
Thank
we got like I was waiting for it, and I said to my judge, I just want everybody to prepare because there will be the epic Zoom fail. And there was this lady, I knew where this was going. This woman is having a court hearing sitting on her freaking toilet. The judge is texting me. No, the lid was on though. The lid was on. So she's in the bathroom sitting. So the judge is texting me, Layla. I was like, don't say anything. I have my finger on the button, and I knew it. So she's sitting as if nothing. You know, here's a judge and serious stuff, and this woman's sitting on this toilet with the lid up. Soon as I saw her stand up. I saw her start going into the freaking, squatting. She got about to like 45 degrees, and I saw the flash of Granny, white Granny panty. And I was like, take the video off. And the judge texts me. He goes, I just want you to know, I hear a toilet flush. I'm done. I said, you're off camera. I could not believe this freaking woman. I'm just like, do you not know that there are like people here? I gave up.
Right? I took calls like that, people in the bathroom. It was just like, you're trying to fix your phone and you're on the toilet? Come on.
I mean, damn, if you're doing it on a regular phone call, that's one thing. But do you think anybody really wants to see you on the screen?
Exactly. But it's just like, oh my God, there goes the flush. You were in the bathroom? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I like when they tell you beforehand. I'm like, yeah, thanks for the access 411.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I just want you to know, so thanks, People from this pandemic, I mean, after this long that it's been, some people I've noticed are seriously losing their minds.
Yeah.
I do just domestic violence at this point in my life. I supervise a team of officers that handle only domestic violence cases.
All right.
I used sex offenders and domestic violence, and I stayed a lot longer than we were supposed to in sex offenders, and it's it gets old after a while, let me tell you. But the domestic violence, if I told you some of the stuff that people are like losing their minds over, you'd be like, you gotta be. But we had this one lady. I said, whenever people start talking about God or the devil, I know it's a wrap. I'm done. I'm like, listen, you need to go somewhere. I'm going to put you in jail because I know they're going to lose it. This woman started screaming that the devil was in her apartment. He was showing up as a blue light. And the devil basically told her to grab her phone and beat the crap out of her boyfriend. And she's screaming this. They took her to the police station. She's handcuffed to the police. And she's like, making all these noises and going off screaming. Her father's a minister, and she's telling the police, get my father there. He'll be able to help me. I need an exorcise me. And she's screaming that her father's going to perform an exorcism.
Oh, no.
And I'm just...
I would take the road for that.
I'm like, listen, I'm done. I'm like, that's it. The woman needs to go somewhere. The minute you start talking about God or the devil and they told you to do something, I'm out.
Yeah.
People
I'm like, it's a wrap, man.
Hey, Bowler.
Yes.
Have you learned sign from Jessica yet that says you're in the shit house?
No. I have not learned that one yet.
You know what? I do want to touch on the what Layla was just talking about. A lot has not been done by anyone. Anyone in government, city, or what for people's mental health.
That is a big issue.
It's a huge issue. They're talking about the shutdowns, keeping shit closed. Virtual. Me personally, I'm sick of that word already. I won't cry if I never ever hear the word virtual again.
I'm bad. I like it, but for some things.
Yes. But it's just. Well, what about people's mental health? How's that being addressed? I've
not
plan for anyone.
You're looking at adults and children who are having difficulties because of this. Nobody gets to. Well, my daughter doesn't do anything to begin with, so there's an exception to the rule. But her social life happens to be work at this point. I generally don't do much either unless I go to your place, you know. So and work.
Hang out at my place.
What?
You just hang out at my place if you need, to get out or something.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, like, if the weather's
Oh,
bad.
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. No, I don't mean it. I was being serious, really, sarcastic, so to speak. But you got to look at things like that shooting that happened where the one neighbor shot the two neighbors across the street and then turned the gun on himself because it was a snow removal issue.
Yeah, yeah.
That
And
was fucking crazy.
they were talking about it at work today. I haven't really looked into it or read anything, but oh my God. I'm sitting there, my buddy Tracy sits right across from me, and he's like, who the hell thinks this? Don't these people think these things through, or they just act rational, out in rashness, or it's just, okay, so my neighbors are bothering me because they're throwing snow on my property, or they're throwing snow in the street, or whatever the issue was. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to shoot them. And then I'm going to turn the gun on myself because, well, I did something so horrible by shooting them that now I don't deserve to live. Does that make any sense?
No, but
I know.
that's the thing. You or me wouldn't do that. That person,
Right.
you know what I mean? Because they're, I had somebody
Right.
that's in front of me and acted like everything was fine, left my office, and I got a phone call half an hour later and had to go chasing after him, and with a bunch of detectives. He stabbed somebody to death like 20-something times, and he was just fine sitting in front of me. I think that isolation for a lot of people that have issues is the worst thing.
Yep. They reach their snapping point.
It's the worst thing. But I mean, we have a lot of agencies that they've gone virtual, and they're doing the virtual counseling and stuff. So that's how they're trying to mitigate, what happens with people. It's like anything else. For some people it works, and for other people that are quite honestly far more gone than that need like intense.
They need the intense one-on-one.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything from. But the one thing that I can definitely tell you on the domestic violence, I cannot begin to tell you how much of an increase we have had with that. And it's not just like poor people or people with mental health issues. It's people that,
It's everybody.
They hate each other's guts, and they've survived for the last 20 years because they've seen each other 5 minutes on the way in and out, and now they're stuck together.
And they're finding. Go ahead.
No, you got people beating the shit out of each other because they were playing a card game, and the one person said the other person cheated. I'm like, and I've got the multimillionaires worth $60 million between them, and they're sitting here in court every day of their life, filing suits against each other and temporary restraining orders because the one guy that's 93 pushed her, the 70-something-year-old wife, and he's gonna stay in that house. And this guy is basically sitting there telling us, he's like, I'll see her in the grave before I give her this house. Mind you, the guy has enough money to build 10 mansions, the exact replica of this house. But it's that thing, that spite, and because they were stuck together for a while. I mean, I know. Like, crap, man. I'm glad I'm single, I guess. I've been.
Trust me.
I stopped dating. I'm a lot happier years now, but.
Yeah. I get it. I understand that. It was tough with the, as I call him, the sperm donor, because we didn't just live together, we also worked together. We had our own business. So we were together 24/7, and I hated it. Not to mention the fact that I couldn't stand him to begin with, but hey.
I worked with my ex-husband too, and trust me, it was a very short time, so I'm not good at being miserable for too long. And by the end of it, I was seriously contemplating like shots of like antifreeze and stuff and I was like, I think it's time for me to like kick this, you know, because when and my friends like, "Ooh, why are you saying that so calmly and you know, with no emotion?" I'm like, you know, she's like, I think it's time for you guys to like, you know, but that whole thing and living together, oh my God.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, no. One of those things where you feel yourself aging like second by second. I'm like, how does a month feel like 20 years, you know? Like, God.
Right. And like I said, we were together, he and I were together 21 and a half years, and I always say that was 21 years too long.
You served the sentence.
Oh, absolutely.
And
then some. His sister and I used to joke around about how, had we killed him years before, we'd have been out of jail by then.
No more, and I've been a little longer than that.
Oh, yeah. Ain't that some shit?
Actually, hey, Nadine, you and I are getting up there. Into like
Nadine, we got no audio for you.
She's sleeping. Oh.
She's not sleeping. She's laying down. Did you mute
She tapping
your
out.
mic by chance?
Speak, woman.
I see the lips moving, but I don't hear anything.
She is moving.
Nadine. 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 Nadine.
She's telling you shut up.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Trying to figure out what's going on.
If my parrot starts answering you, you're gonna get my bird answering you.
What kind of bird?
So
what kind?
A Dufour cockatoo. Oh, I just heard him now. He's already here.
No, I had 6 parrots at one time. I had a blue and gold macaw, 2 Gotham's cockatoos, a Moluccan cockatoo,
oh my God, I love that.
a cherry-headed conure, and a cockatiel. So, yeah, I had a very noisy room. And my
love birds, love them.
Yeah, my Gothams, he was funny. My one Gotham, he was really silly. Yes, now I can.
Yeah.
Now I hear you, Nadine. But the Gothams, my Blinky bird, he would scold himself if he knew he did something wrong. Be bad bird, get in your room, and he'd go and he was self-potty trained too, which was really funny.
Wow.
We'd have him in the kitchen and he'd go fly back to his cage and he'd sit on his door and I had newspaper on the floor and he'd go on the paper and he'd come flying back into the kitchen.
Wow, I wish this guy. He's too busy getting me in trouble. You know, I'm on a hearing and he's like cracking up behind me. And like, how you doing? How you doing? I'm like,
Layla. Still there?
But
I have a question for you as a cop. What do you think about the 9-year-old girl who got pepper sprayed by the cops? What's your view on that?
the 9-year-old in Rochester
Yes.
last week.
Pepper sprayed by the cops. What's your view?
I'm sorry, that what?
The 9-year-old girl who got pepper sprayed by the cops.
I haven't read up on it, to be honest with you. I don't know what happened.
Her mother had called the police because she was acting out.
Right.
So,
she was 9 years old and they pepper sprayed her. She was in the backseat of the cop car and they pepper sprayed. And I'm like, dude, you have her handcuffed in the backseat of the cop car. Why would you pepper spray her? You have her handcuffed in the back seat. Why would you have to pepper spray her? I saw no reason for that. She's 9 years old.
She was already in the,
She was in the-
They were
cop car handcuffed. She was
putting her in the
handcuffed,
back of the police car, yeah.
and they perpetrated her.
Yep. While she was handcuffed already,
Right. So
she
was
was
on-
resisting getting into the police car, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
Kind of.
They
She
had her
didn't
in
want
there.
to. She wanted her father. She kept
But-
screaming, "I want to see my father. Where's my father?" You know, that
But
kind of a deal.
She was in the car though, mind you. She was in the car and they
Yeah.
perpetrated her. And she's like, "Where's my ass? She's handcuffed. She's 9 years old. You have in the cop car. You have a handcuff. You're perpetrated. Also,
Yeah.
there's no reason for that. She's in the car. 9.
I mean, I find it, I guess, hard to believe why you would need to apply that much. I guess, you know, I don't like saying stuff without knowing, like without saying
Right.
the case. I just find it hard to believe that you would need to apply that much force
Yeah.
to a 9-year-old,
They
because
did.
we're always trained. Yeah, we're always trained to escalate as you need to, and then you de-escalate as opposing force de-escalates. And I mean, I was a senior probation officer. Now I'm the supervising senior probation officer. So unlike a police officer, everybody I meet has been convicted, and everyone I meet is already in the criminal justice system. So
Right.
whereas a regular officer might run into 5 good citizens and 3 bad guys, I'm just dealing with the bad
Yeah.
guys. So my perspective is different. I did supervise juveniles for a long time too, and juvenile sex offenders. I find it hard to believe that you would need to apply that kind of force to a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Unless you have a 9-year-old from Trenton that's in a gang, pointing a freaking
Right.
45 at
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
This little girl.
She kicked out at them. She might have kicked one of them. Who knows? You're talking about a 9-year-old child, though.
A girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's really upset, obviously. Mom couldn't handle her, so she called the police for them to help her and not injure her daughter. So she's actually suing both the police and the city of Rochester,
She should.
and demanding that the officers not just be, put on desk duty, but be fired.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of departments that hire these young kids. Listen, I was in the Army when I was 17, and I was in till I was 26 technically. So, and I will tell you, there's a reason why you recruit kids that are 18, 19, 20, 20. If you look at casualties in any war, highest number of casualties are 19 and 20-year-olds. And that's because at that age, you think that, you're God, you think that you're invincible, you think that nothing's gonna happen to you. You've got an 18-year-old with no training. Some of the psych tests kind of made me wonder, and you've given them a weapon and told them, listen, you're authority, you're this, and you've got a lot of kids that probably should not be in that position. And I wish that they would stop putting an age on police officers, because I get it. Listen, I know plenty of people that, I'm not going to say myself right now, but I was at 37, 38. You could be 35, which is the maximum hiring range that most departments have. You trying to tell me a 36 and a 37-year-old, 35-year-old isn't in good shape? Instead of hiring somebody that's a little bit older with more life experience, that isn't going to be what we call the rookie rush,
Right.
and I can always tell when somebody's just started, because they're like, oh, and I did this and I did it. And everybody that's been on the job for a while is like, let me know when you're over it. We have the nicknames Rookie Rush or Buff. And I said, here goes this dude with his rookie rush. And those are the kind of people, unfortunately, a lot of times that you'll have in situations like that.
Yeah.
You know, instead of somebody that's a grown man or a woman that's going to approach a situation and say, hey, hang on a second, let me talk to you, as opposed to someone that comes in with their nightstick out, you know.
Right. The one
So,
officer who threatened to pepper spray her was a woman,
But then
and she was no rookie.
it was the guy that was like, just pepper spray, and I was pepper spray. There was another cop who was like, just pepper spray, just do it now, just pepper spray. I swear. I was like, seriously? I mean,
I had two types of drill sergeants, the female and the male. And I can tell you, grown men were begging to get away from the female drill sergeants.
I'll bet.
Because they can be, I mean, innocent.
Yeah, it reminds me of Private Benjamin.
You know, I almost beat the crap out of it, and somebody I was working with on a department, you know, because of the action, they wanted to do something against a freaking Chihuahua. I'm like, I'm gonna tell you this nicely. You do anything to that freaking Chihuahua, saying yes, Chihuahua's nasty as hell. Ain't nothing new about that. I'm more worried about Chihuahuas and stuff than pit bulls when I go in people's
Yeah,
house.
the little
This Chihuahua's like
yappy ones. Yeah.
In my 18 years, I got bitten by a Yorkshire Terrier. That's it. The pit bulls, the Rottweilers, whatever. This thing's like trying to jump this fence, like, and this woman's like there, like, I'm like, I wish to God I could like video it and show you guys, because seriously, you would have been like, this thing's like, or I'm like, what the hell, man? What is this thing, a gorilla? Like trying to climb this little gate? I could not believe this thing. But this other person that was like, oh, you know, and that vicious dog, this, that, and she's like talking. I'm like, you take out your weapon in a residence, or you attempt to do something to this Chihuahua that's like 5 pounds, I'm like, I will break every single bone in your hand before you get that weapon out. I said, I'm telling you right now. Well, Layla, you're just not objective. No, I'm objective, dude. It's a 5-pound dog. Give me a break, you know? But
Yeah, I mean,
that's the mentality, you know. I was just like, please don't tell me about this, because I'll lose my mind.
Yeah. I know.
all right, so let me ask you a question. Do you feel that you're seeing more of a shoot first mentality among today's officers?
Put me on the spot, people. No, I'll tell you, very honestly, the Department of Justice statistics indicate that less than 1% of police confrontations end in fatality. So if you expect me to believe that there's rows of officers driving around, looking around and shoot and kill people,
Right.
I'm going to tell you you're a liar. I've never seen them, you know, do bad things happen, and, you know, do people toe the blue line when they shouldn't? Absolutely.
Well, we've
But
numerous times. So.
if you're going to sit there and tell me, you know, thousands, I had somebody, you know, my own cousin, oh my God, you know, 'cause when I was in Charlotte, I lived in fear of my life. You know, I said, hang on a second. When the hell did you live in fear of your life in Charlotte? Oh, you know, because we're, I said, are you really this much of an idiot? First of all, nobody knew you were Spanish unless you opened your fat mouth. You don't look Spanish. I'm like, you're trying to tell me you were in fear of your life from the police in Charlotte. I'm like, listen, I'm going to end this. Honestly, I can't deal with this kind of ignorance. I said, go back to school. Please learn how to do math. Deal in logic with me. Because for you to tell me that, I said, it's really shocking in someone as educated as you are to say this in the light of day. Seriously. You know, if you start to tell me stuff like that, I'm going to be like, yeah, no. Things happen. New Jersey stats, actually Newark. And then people say, well, you know, it's more proportionate in one ethnicity or one race. Well, I'm going to say to you, it depends on the environment where you're taking these stats too.
Right.
Newark is a predominantly African city. So therefore, any violent encounters that happen in Newark between the police and citizens are going to be probably between overwhelmingly African American people, because that's mostly who lives there. So you're not going to find, if the population of my block is 90% white, you're not going to have 90% confrontations with Spanish people. You know what I mean? So I always say, listen, everything is situational, and everything is unique to that specific case. What I find reprehensible is, and I find actually even worse than the person that did something that they shouldn't have done, is for somebody to just sit there and watch it. Not just one person, 1, 2, 3 officers, 4 officers, and for you not to open your your mouth and say, hey, cut this shit out and stop that person. As far as I'm concerned, they deserve to get even more of a sentence than that person, because you're a disgrace to the badge. And on top of that, you could have actually stopped from, what was happening from happening. So
Like
that
the Floyd killing. I mean, there were 4 cops there who haven't done anything. They should have stopped it off the camera.
I felt like, I honestly, it's hard to believe somebody like watching, something, I've had experiences, my career where I had to, sit somebody down and say, hey, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to cut this shit, or I'm going to take you and press charges against you. What you're doing with this person is, and
well, no, I mean, no, because one cop, she went to McDonald's, and they wouldn't help her because they were upset at her because of the Jim Floyd, the Floyd thing, right? And she's like, oh, well, they wouldn't help me because they like talked to what happened to Floyd. I'm like, you can't make them hate your freaking coworkers who are fucking up. That's why they don't like you, because your coworkers are fucking up.
Talking about.
I'm
I don't
talking about after the Floyd killing, this cop went to McDonald's. They wouldn't help her. They told her to go and leave. Like, leave, they don't want to help you. She's like, oh, well, because of what happened to Floyd, blah, blah, blah. They don't want to help
they
me.
wouldn't serve her.
Yeah. And I was
Yeah,
like, don't be for them. Be for your fucking coworkers who are fucking up. They're fucking up. They don't like you. Do be for them. Be for your coworkers. Those who are messing up. That doesn't like you. Be for your coworkers. So you don't have McDonald's telling your coworkers who are fucking up everything. They're shooting people who are unarmed. They're killing people who are not with any problems.
Breathe.
I mean, come on.
Like I said, I don't comment on stuff unless I see it, but I will tell you this much. I think anybody that knows me knows that I pretty much don't care about anything other than animals. But
Nice.
like, I'm sure you can pick up on
Humans.
I don't care who it is. If somebody's going to sit there and justify to me that they're looting and burning a car, and destroying stores and stuff, as far as I'm concerned, if you get the crap beat out of you, if you get arrested, you should get arrested, first of all. There's plenty of other ways that you can make a statement other than burning and looting down people. And you're so stupid. You're burning and looting down businesses in areas that are not going to recover. So you're screwing your own,
Right.
But I will say this. Somebody taking a puppy out of somebody's yard, strangling it in front of a group of people, or throwing bricks at police.
Yeah, I can't believe someone would do that. That just brings me to my stomach.
I'm gonna tell you easy as I'll tell anybody that knows me. If somebody comes in front of me and does that, I guarantee you will get the brick right back at your head. You will get strangled. Anybody comes in front of my dogs, if it's a choice between my dogs or any other human, I got bad news for you. It's gonna be my dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, I do not care about. I'm not a species though, so to me, human life is not more important than animal life. But that's another of my view. But if you're doing stuff like that and you want people to take what you're saying seriously, really,
Is that gonna happen?
Yeah. So there's a lot of crap going on. I just, I enjoyed growing up. I know many people that think so many different ways. You know, I've got people that are like far left liberal, like they're, you know, I've got people that are far right, you know, and I'm glad I know these different people because they round you out as a person. You,
Right.
you take away things from different people and you grow and you learn. But when you get to a point where, you know, you can't even talk to somebody and respect them and say, oh, you know, listen, we disagree. Okay, but you're still a good person. You're this, that, you know. I think you have problems then. And that's what it's to.
Right.
You can't, and it's sad because I enjoy speaking to people who have different views than me. You might show me something that, you know, or make me look at something and I'll be like, I didn't think
Never
about
thought
that.
of it that way. Yeah.
Right.
I can hear you bird in the background.
Yeah, it rounds you out as a person, you know.
Yep.
Oh, you heard him?
Yeah. Hello.
Jesus is laughing.
Yeah, I heard it before too.
How you doing, buddy? You want to say hi? Oh, you want to say how you doing? And that's typical of the bird. You know, you want him to say something. You just.
Oh yeah, yeah. Then they're quiet. They talk when they want.
Peanuts. Peanuts.
Chirp,
He's just as greedy as the dogs are.
Not chirp, chirp.
chirp,
Oh,
chirp.
bird crickets.
Treats. You want treats?
Nadine, I'm right there with you. I wish I could just go to sleep. I gotta go get my kid in about 15 minutes or so.
All right.
Wait, you gotta see the bird.
Oh, here, I'll bring him. Hang on.
Bird's coming.
This bird's become greedy.
Oh, wow.
Mama be stinking. Mama. Treasure, go eat your food and leave him alone. You're not saying anything, you know.
Oh, she's pretty.
Ooh, that is a gorgeous bird.
You want to say hi, buddy?
Hello,
Is it good or
sexy.
Well, is that a Goffins?
It's a Ducord.
Ducord.
Yeah, they're not found as much as Goffins, but they have very similar
Is
personalities.
it boy
Just
or
like
girl?
the Goffins.
You want to say hi, buddy? Hello.
Hello. Hello. I love it.
You excited?
I love it. Yeah, the crest goes up. It's like, ooh, what's all that going on? Yeah.
Hello.
What, you too busy looking for peanut butter?
Is it a boy or is it
Ooh, peanut butter.
See, I don't like anything I'm supposed to eat. I want everything I'm not supposed to.
Yep,
I get them every day. I think that's what I.
Slices, peanuts, maybe.
yep.
is it a boy or
Oh,
is
I
it
used
a
to give
girl?
mine. I used to give my birds all kinds of stuff. Nothing bad for them, but yeah. The one he liked,
Yeah.
he actually liked the feeling of a frozen beer mug on his beak and his tongue. And of course, it was beer in the mug, but not me, the sperm donor again. But yeah, he liked that.
Hey, is the bird a he or a she?
Hey, Bart,
Is it a girl? Is it a girl or a boy?
is that a male or a female?
Is anything done? Nobody wants your treasure.
That's what my Goffins look like. Almost exactly like that.
That is a gorgeous bird.
Is it a boy or a girl though? The bird.
They had a Goffin for adoption at a Common Sense, and
Wait, the boy, the girl, the boy, the girl, boy. Is the bird a boy or a girl? The bird. What's the sex?
he's a boy.
A boy.
He's
Okay.
rescued too.
Okay.
He was 10 when I got him. About 10.
Okay.
He's a nice bird. He's really.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear you, Treasure. Be quiet. You already heard you.
That's funny.
Yeah, if anybody ever needs to talk to anybody or anything, unfortunately, I only sleep 2 hours a night, so chances are, unless you hit me between 3 and 5, and even then sometimes I'm around.
2
Yeah,
hours. Damn. And I thought I was
no, right?
I thought I was bad.
Yeah, right. And between you, Mike, and me,
We all be.
I think, yeah, I think we're all sleep deprived. We're a little deprived
I get
too.
maybe on a good night I get 5 hours sleep.
All right, folks. Let's wrap this up. So I can go to the eye doctor in the morning.
What time is your doctor's appointment?
9.
Yeah, you need some sleep.
But you're yawning. You're yawning. Hey, Boris.
I can't, my eyes, I need toothpicks right now because the left eye is going to be shut soon all the way. I'll be driving with one eye.
I think Boris about to get laid.
Really?
But
I said all men are 15. All men are 15-year-old boys. They never grow up, and that's the end of it. Especially when you do something like say boobs. We had this discussion at work today. All right.
all right. This was fun. We will do this again.
Yeah. Layla, it was a pleasure.
Oh, likewise. Had fun talking to you guys.
Definitely.
I can't wait till we all can come together instead of talking virtually.
Yeah, I know, right?
Told you, the word virtual is like going to be dead to us.
Eventually.
Eventually. All right. Y'all have a good night.
Yep,
All right, you too.
Good rest.
Night.
Night.